Noah and the Ark, the world before the flood opening. Imagine a world filled with magnificent cities, bustling civilizations, powerful rulers, great craftsmen, and people who believed humanity had reached its greatest age. Children laughed in the streets, farmers harvested their fields, merchants filled busy marketplaces, music echoed through growing cities, families gathered beneath the evening sky. To those living in that world, tomorrow seemed certain. No one imagined that history itself was about to change forever. No one believed the world they knew would soon disappear beneath water. Yet, according to the book of Genesis, humanity had wandered far from its creator. Violence spread across the land. Greed consumed the hearts of many. Justice became rare. The strong oppressed the weak. Corruption filled every generation. The earth that had once reflected perfect harmony now echoed with suffering. Among millions of people, only one man chose a different path. His name was Noah, and through him, human history would begin again. The world before the flood, generations had passed since Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden. Their children had children. Families became tribes. Tribes became nations. The population of the earth continued to grow. People built homes. They cultivated fields. They raised animals. Communities expanded into thriving settlements. Human knowledge increased. Craftsmanship flourished. Cities appeared across the landscape, yet while civilization advanced, the human heart changed. Genesis tells us that wickedness increased throughout the earth. Violence became common. Hatred spread. People pursued evil without restraint. The thoughts of their hearts were continually inclined toward wickedness. What had once been a beautiful creation had become a world consumed by corruption. The earth itself suffered because of humanity. The violence of mankind reached every corner of creation. The innocent suffered. Justice disappeared. Greed replaced compassion. Pride replaced humility. People lived only for themselves. Generation after generation drifted farther away from the Creator. The world stood on the edge of judgment, though few recognized it. Genesis describes one of the most emotional moments in the entire Bible. It tells us that God saw the wickedness of humanity and was grieved in his heart. This grief was not the result of weakness. It reflected the sorrow of seeing a creation that had chosen violence instead of peace, hatred instead of love, corruption instead of righteousness. The Creator had formed humanity with purpose, yet humanity had rejected that purpose. The earth had become filled with violence. Everywhere God looked, he saw injustice. The decision was made. The world would face judgment, not because creation itself had failed, but because humanity refused to turn from evil. Yet, even in the midst of judgment, grace remained. For among all the people living upon the earth, one man still walked faithfully before God. His name was Noah. The Bible introduces Noah with remarkable simplicity. Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. While corruption surrounded him, Noah remained faithful. He lived differently. He honored God. He sought righteousness. Genesis describes him as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his generation. This did not mean Noah was perfect. Rather, he remained devoted to God while the world around him turned away. He lived with integrity. He obeyed. He trusted. His household reflected that same faithfulness. Noah lived together with his wife and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Their families would soon become the beginning of a new world. As violence increased around them, Noah continued his ordinary life. He worked, he cared for his family, he walked faithfully with God. Perhaps many wondered why he refused to join the corruption around him. Perhaps they laughed at his devotion. Perhaps they dismissed him as different. But Noah continued walking the path of righteousness. He had no idea that his name would become one of the most remembered in human history. Then came the moment that changed everything. Genesis tells us that God spoke directly to Noah. The message was unlike anything ever heard before. The earth would be destroyed by a great flood. Every living thing upon the land would perish. The violence that had filled creation would come to an end. Yet Noah and his family would be spared, not because of their strength, nor because of wealth, but because Noah trusted God. Then God gave Noah extraordinary instructions. He was to build an enormous ark, not a small fishing boat, not a simple raft, but a vessel unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. It would be built from durable wood, covered inside and outside with pitch, designed with 3 decks, rooms prepared for people, animals, food, and every necessity needed to survive. The ark would become a place of refuge, a symbol of both judgment and mercy. God also established his covenant with Noah. Though the world would perish, Noah and his family would live. A future still remained, hope still remained. Humanity would not end. Through one faithful family, creation would begin again. Noah heard every instruction. The task before him seemed impossible. Build an ark large enough to preserve life in a world that had never witnessed such a flood. The work would require years, patience, faith, perseverance, and complete trust in God. Without hesitation, Genesis simply tells us Noah did everything that God commanded him. He did not argue, he did not delay, he obeyed. And with that first act of obedience, the greatest construction project in ancient history quietly began. Noah did not wait. The moment God gave his command, the work began. Before him stood an impossible task. He was not asked to build a house, nor a simple fishing boat. He was commanded to build an enormous vessel unlike anything the world had ever seen. Genesis records its dimensions: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, 30 cubits high. By today's measurements, the ark would stretch nearly 140 meters in length, a floating structure larger than many modern ships of its time. Built entirely by hand, every beam, every plank, every joint, placed with patience and unwavering faith. Day after day, Noah and his sons labored beneath the blazing sun. Trees were cut. Massive timbers were shaped. Pitch sealed every crack to protect the vessel from water. The frame slowly rose above the surrounding land. Years passed. The ark grew larger. Its towering walls became impossible to ignore. People traveled from nearby settlements simply to look at the strange construction. Many had never seen a vessel of such size. Questions spread throughout the land. What is Noah building? Why here? Why so large? What does he expect it to do? The Bible does not describe every conversation during those years, but it tells us Noah remained faithful. Imagine the patience it required. Morning after morning, hammer after hammer, year after year, working toward an event no one else believed would happen. The skies remained clear. The seasons continued as always. Children grew into adults. Harvests came and went. Life seemed perfectly normal. Yet Noah never stopped. Every board he placed reflected his trust in God's promise. Every nail, every support beam, every completed section declared one simple truth. He believed. As the ark grew, so did the laughter. Some mocked him openly, others shook their heads. Many dismissed him as foolish. To them, Noah had wasted years building a gigantic ship far from any sea. Rain of such magnitude had never been seen. Flooding the entire world sounded impossible. the idea became a joke. People continued with weddings, business, celebrations, trade. Life went on exactly as before. No one imagined that history itself was quietly counting down. Noah continued working. He did not answer ridicule with anger. He did not abandon the task. He simply obeyed. One faithful day after another. At last, the enormous vessel stood complete. 3 decks, countless rooms, storage for food, living space for Noah's family. Everything had been prepared exactly as God commanded. The ark stood like a silent witness across the landscape, a warning and an invitation. Yet the world continued as though nothing had changed. Then, something extraordinary began to happen. From forests, mountains, grasslands, and distant valleys, animals started moving toward the ark. Birds filled the skies. Deer crossed open fields. Lions walked peacefully beside lambs. Elephants traveled across the plains. Creatures large and small moved with one purpose, not driven by fear, but guided by the Creator who had made them. Genesis tells us they came to Noah in pairs, male and female, just as God had commanded. The ark slowly filled with life. The sound of birds echoed through its chambers. The footsteps of countless animals shook its wooden floors. Food was gathered, supplies were stored. Everything necessary for survival was brought inside. Then came the day history had been moving toward. God instructed Noah to enter the ark with his wife, his sons, and their wives. 8 people, a single family. The future of humanity rested within them, one by one. They stepped through the great doorway. Behind them entered every creature chosen for preservation. Silence settled over the land. The sky remained calm. The air was still. Nothing yet suggested what was about to happen. Then Genesis records one simple sentence, one of the most powerful in Scripture. The Lord shut him in. The great door closed, not by Noah's strength, not by human hands, but by God himself. The time for preparation had ended. The time for judgment had begun. For a brief moment, everything remained quiet. People continued their ordinary lives beyond the ark. Children played, merchants traded, farmers worked their fields. The sky remained unchanged. Then, a single drop of rain fell. Another followed. Then another. The dry ground slowly darkened beneath the growing rainfall. Thunder rolled across the heavens. Dark clouds gathered over the earth. Lightning illuminated the sky. The wind began to rise. What had started as a few drops quickly became an unstoppable downpour. The flood had begun. The rain continued to fall inside the ark. Noah and his family waited. Outside, the world faced the judgment that had been foretold. But the greatest storm in history had just begun. The first raindrops fell quietly upon the earth. At first, few noticed. For generations, people had lived their lives believing tomorrow would always come. Merchants continued their trade. Children played in the streets. Farmers worked their fields. Life carried on as though nothing had changed. But beyond the towering walls of the ark, the sky grew darker. Clouds gathered across the horizon. The wind, once gentle and calm, became cold and restless. Thunder rolled across the heavens. Lightning split the sky. The rain began to fall with increasing strength. Minute after minute, hour after hour, the downpour intensified. What began as scattered drops soon became a relentless storm, unlike anything the world had ever witnessed. Yet the rain alone was not the source of the flood. Genesis tells us that on that very day, the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of heaven were opened. Water surged upward from beneath the earth. Great springs erupted with unimaginable force. The ground itself seemed to split apart. Rivers overflowed. Valleys disappeared beneath rushing water. Streams became raging torrents. The earth trembled beneath the power of the flood. Above, the heavens poured down endless rain. Below, the deep released its hidden waters. Creation itself seemed to reverse. The boundaries that once separated land and sea were overwhelmed. Everywhere, water. Inside the ark, a different world existed. The great wooden vessel creaked beneath the force of the storm. Rain pounded against its massive walls. Thunder echoed through its chambers. The animals stirred uneasily. Birds fluttered. Lions roared. Elephants shifted their weight. Yet despite the violence outside, the ark remained secure. Noah stood with his family, listening to the storm. The world they had known was disappearing. Every sound beyond the ark reminded them of the seriousness of God's warning. Yet they also knew something else. They were safe, not because of their own strength, but because they had trusted God's instruction. The rain did not stop. Day became night. Night became day. Still, the rain continued. 1 day, 2 days, 10 days, 20 days, 40 days, and 40 nights. The flood waters rose higher with every passing hour. The ark lifted from the ground. Slowly, almost gently, it began to float. The earth disappeared beneath it. The familiar landscape vanished. Fields, forests, villages, everything slipped beneath the growing sea. The ark drifted upon waters that now stretched farther than the eye could see. Human history had entered a new chapter. The waters cover the earth. 150 days upon the waters. The flood continued to rise. Genesis tells us that every high hill beneath the heavens was covered. The waters climbed higher, until even the mountains disappeared beneath the surface. Nothing remained visible. No forests, no valleys, no cities. Only an endless ocean stretching toward every horizon. The world had become silent. The violence that had once filled the earth had come to an end. Everything outside the ark was hidden beneath the waters. The flood was complete. Inside the ark, life continued. The days followed a quiet rhythm. Noah and his family cared for every creature entrusted to them. Food was distributed, water was collected, the animals settled into their places, though surrounded by endless waters. The ark remained a place of preservation. Imagine the sounds: birds singing at dawn, the soft footsteps of animals, the gentle creaking of timber, rain striking the roof above. Every moment reminded them that they had been chosen to preserve life itself. Patience became their greatest companion. They could not control the storm. They could only trust. The rain eventually ceased, but the waters remained. Genesis tells us that the flood waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days. The ark drifted wherever the waters carried it. Day after day, nothing but sky above, water below. Silence all around. No landmarks, no mountains, no sign of dry ground. Only waiting upon God's perfect timing. Though the storm had ended, their journey was far from over. The future remained hidden beyond the endless sea. Yet the Creator had not forgotten Noah. The same God who had instructed him to build the ark would now prepare the earth for a new beginning. The waters still covered the world. The ark continued its lonely journey across the endless flood. But unseen beneath the surface, change had already begun. Soon, the mountains would rise again. A raven would be released. A dove would search for dry land, and humanity would step into a brand new world. For 150 days, the ark drifted across an endless world of water. There were no mountains, no valleys, no forests, only sky above and the deep below. To Noah and his family, time itself seemed to stand still. Every sunrise looked the same. Every sunset disappeared beyond an endless horizon. Yet Genesis records a powerful statement. But God remembered Noah. This did not mean God had forgotten. Rather, it marked the beginning of a new chapter. The time of judgment had ended. The time of restoration had begun. God caused a mighty wind to pass over the earth. The rain clouds disappeared. The fountains of the deep were closed. The windows of heaven were shut. Little by little, the waters began to retreat, not all at once, but day after day, week after week, month after month. The world slowly emerged from beneath the flood. Then, on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest, not upon a beach, nor within a valley, but upon the mountains of Ararat. For the first time in months, the ark no longer drifted. It stood still, outside. The waters still covered much of the earth, but beneath them, the mountains had returned. Their peaks slowly emerged into the sunlight. The world was breathing again. Noah looked through the opening of the ark. Hope had returned, yet patience remained necessary. God had preserved life. Now he was preparing a new beginning. After 40 more days, Noah opened the window of the ark. The fresh mountain air entered for the first time. He released a raven. The dark bird circled endlessly, flying back and forth across the flooded world. It never returned to remain inside the ark. The waters had not yet fully disappeared. Dry ground had not yet been revealed. The time to leave had not yet come. Then Noah released a dove. Unlike the raven, the dove searched for a resting place. It flew across the endless waters, looking for land, looking for trees, looking for life. But it found nothing. Everywhere, only water. The dove returned to the ark. Noah stretched out his hand and gently brought it back inside. Another week passed. Again, Noah released the dove. This time, as evening approached, the dove returned. But something had changed. In its beak, it carried a freshly plucked olive leaf, a simple leaf, yet one of the greatest symbols of hope in history. Life had returned. Trees once again stood upon the earth. The floodwaters were retreating. 1 week later, Noah released the dove once more. This time, it did not return. The earth was ready. Months had passed since Noah first entered the ark. The flood had transformed the earth. Finally, God spoke again. Come out of the ark. Noah, his wife, his sons, their wives, every animal, every bird, every living creature stepped onto dry ground. The fresh earth stretched before them. The air was clean. The mountains stood silent. The rivers flowed once more. Humanity had entered a new beginning. Before building a home, before planting crops, before beginning a new life, Noah did something remarkable. He built an altar. There, he offered sacrifices to God. His first act was gratitude, not fear, not celebration, but worship. Genesis tells us that God accepted Noah's offering. The judgment had passed. Mercy had prevailed. Then God made a covenant, a promise, not only with Noah, but with every future generation. Never again would a flood destroy all life upon the earth. As long as the earth remained, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, would continue. The rhythm of creation would endure. Humanity had been given another chance. Then came one of the most beautiful moments in Scripture. God placed his bow in the clouds, the rainbow. Whenever storm clouds gathered, the rainbow would remind humanity of God's covenant. It became a symbol of mercy after judgment, hope after destruction, life after death. Generations have looked toward the rainbow, remembering the promise first given to Noah. The flood had changed everything. The old world had passed away. A new chapter had begun. From one family, the nations of the earth would one day grow again. Kings, kingdoms, empires, and civilizations still lay far in the future, but every story, every nation, every generation would trace its beginning back to Noah. The mountains stood quietly beneath the morning sun. The rainbow faded into the clouds. The ark rested upon the heights of Ararat, its purpose complete. The flood was over. Hope had returned, but humanity's greatest challenge was not surviving the waters. It would be remaining faithful in the generations that followed, and soon, a new story would begin, one of pride, a towering city, and a structure that reached toward heaven, the Tower of Babel.